Hi, my name is Kaisa Brimdeer, and I am so excited to talk to you about skin to skin in the first hour after birth. I've been traveling all around the world talking to international experts, mothers, fathers, partners, about the importance of the first hour after birth. This is a developmentally important time for babies, and there's so much research that shows how important this hour is. It's so funny because it seems like it's only an hour, and yet it is vital to the health of the baby, the temperature of the baby, and the bond between a mother and baby 1 year, 4 years later. There are 9 distinct and observable stages that every baby around the world goes through if it's placed skin to skin with its mother during that first hour after birth. They are the birth cry, relaxation, awakening, activity, rest, crawling, familiarization, suckling, and sleeping. I'd like you to meet Anne-Marie Widstrom, a good friend of mine who pioneered the importance of skin-to-skin contact between mothers and babies in the first hour, and first noticed the 9 stages that all babies go through during that time.
Here you can hear the birth cry. It's a very intense and specific cry for the newborn baby when the baby expands the lungs. And the next stage, you can see that the baby is relaxed, extremely relaxed. The baby is just lying absolutely still for some moments. And then an awakening phase is coming up. And then you have the head movements in the awakening phase, which this baby is doing. And he opens the eyes. And you can see some mouth activity too. And trying to look up to the mother a little bit, I think. And the mother is very quiet and just feeling what the baby is doing. And now the baby soon enters the activity phase. So the eyes open, stable. Baby starts to salivate, yes, before. She is finding the nipple. She's damping the mother's chest. She will soon start rooting movements. And here is a nice rooting movement. She uses the touch and the touch of the mouth and also the smell of the mother's breast. The baby is very, very clever to already from in utero the baby knows the smell of the mother's breast because it's very similar to the amniotic fluid. And that's why the baby goes for the breast.
Moving her hand to the mother's breast and back to her mouth again is such a complicated thing for a young baby to do.
And also tries to work with the tongue, to have the tongue functioning more and more. Protruding is probably a way to learn how to understand to use the tongue. And the baby also looks at the mother, and it's probably the mother's voice that attracts the baby's eyes. And the baby already knows the mother's voice from the in utero life, and then understands that this is my mother. I know the voice. I hear the voice outside, and I look at mother's face and find this a very trustful situation. And now, here you can see a high rooting reflex. The baby is lifting the head, searching around the breast to understand where is the nipple. Tries lower and higher. and is very skillful. And maybe you can see the mouth is open too. And interspersed this word resting, because it's be resting too. So parents shouldn't be anxious about that the baby is doing nothing. The baby is doing the resting. The baby approached the breast with either crawling movements or sliding movements like this. And how they understand that there is a breast when they are sliding with the head backwards, I don't know, but they know. And some babies also leap, so you have to be aware of to hold the baby, not to fall. And now you can see this baby making big efforts to crawl. So now this baby is rooting nicely and also pushing, helping with hands, and is making a big job. And the mother is so astonished and happy that the baby is able to do this. And then she needs a rest. And then we have the familiarization phase, where the baby gets acquainted with the breast by licking and trying to touch the nipple and massage the breast. And this could take quite a time, actually. So don't push the baby and don't worry about that it takes too long time. The baby knows. So, sucking on her hand, licking the breast, and doing all tricks she can to understand how to do this. And then looks at the mother to see if the mother might help a little bit. And the mother is following the baby. And the baby looks at the mother again and licks, and now make.
And that's a very special sound.
Yes, it's a very special sound. It is a very short, clinging, positive sound. And mothers know this, and they very often start communication with the baby then, and the baby communicate back. So now again she's using her tongue to learn how to use it. Searches more and more closely to the nipple, licks and touches and tastes. Push the hand to her mouth because she and looks at the father, and the father is so sensitive, so he understands that the baby looked at him, and he starts cuddling the baby's head, and the baby goes on with trying to suckle. And start massaging the breast. And the massage is a very clever thing to do, because the massage will release maternal oxytocin
Because oxytocin is the hormone of love.
It is the hormone of love, yes. So the hormone that is involved in attachment between mother and baby. And then the baby tries to attach to the nipple and suckles, and around 1 hour or so, the alert baby is doing this.
I traveled to meet Lars-Åke Hansen, who's an international expert on how breast milk helps build strong immune systems.
Colostrum is the very first milk, the first 2-3 days. It's a concentrate of antibodies. It's a fantastic thing. It's like a package of protection, highly concentrated for the baby to function at once, because the mucosal membranes in the baby are empty. And in migrates all the bugs, and here comes the colostrum against all those bugs. This is the trick of it. This is why it's so important to get started immediately. Nature has worked it all out, and we mess it up. Breastfeeding has developed with humankind as we have come about on Earth. And it's as old as we are. And it has been developed and adjusted to the needs, the survival of mankind. That's it. And it's not only a matter of surviving, it is also a matter of all the goodies in the milk that may add to development. And I can't understand why one just should throw that out. There's quite good studies there. And I would expect any parent to do what's absolutely best for their child.
And now, when the baby had suckled for some time, the baby falls asleep, and also the mother. It's very relaxing and peaceful. Like when you have had your meal, then you are tired after the meal, and the mothers are tired after delivery, and also by this hormonal surge. And the baby also have this hormonal surge, so they are very similar in their way, falling to sleep.
And mothers talk about how peaceful that sleep is.
Yes. Bistua found that having contact with the mother so early, with skin to skin and being with the mother, also affected the maternal-infant interaction 1 year later. So the infants the mother had a more optimal sensitivity to the infant. She learned something. And the dyad functioned better together, the two of them. They were playing in a better way, more optimal. And the infant also had a better or more optimal self-regulation. The baby at 1 year could soothe itself better, not be so stressed when things went wrong in the play and so on. So the mother learned something during this process, during the first hour, and the babies also.
As more and more research is published, we see over and over again how important this first hour is after birth, and how important it is to have your baby skin to skin during this time. It may seem like a new idea, but actually it's very ancient, as we can tell from the instinctive behavior of the baby during this time.
Why would we say no to a mechanism that nature has produced for us during all development of humankind, through all those very, very many years, and just throw it out? We haven't become any better as newborns. We are the same newborns we always used to be. And therefore we need the protection of the mother.